let's go to section B of this grade 9 exam. Question 21. You're supposed to evaluate that expression. When you look at that expression, 12 subtract into brackets 4 divided by 2 plus 3 times 2 to brackets divided by 3 over 2. We have different operations, and therefore we must use the law of BODMAS. We must use BODMAS. So in BODMAS, bracket is supposed to be solved first. Whatever is in the bracket, you're going to start with that. So start with 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 here, this one becomes 2. Then plus 3 multiplied by 2. Of course, when you have addition and multiplication will come first. So 3 times 2, you get 6. So whatever is in the bracket is solved. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then 3 times 2 is 6. So this will give 8. Then from there, you have 12. Subtract, the brackets are gone. So everything inside the bracket was solved to get 8. Then divided by 3 over 2. After brackets, the next operation to follow will be division. So division is next. So we solve that. So 8 divided by 3 over 2. This gives 8 multiplied by the reciprocal of 3 over 2, which is 2/3. And this will give 16 divided by 3. So now you have 12. Then whatever is in the bracket, remember we solved that. You solved that. And we got 8 divided by 3 over 2. We got that one as a 16 divided by 3. So now that is what you have as and this is what is going to give you the final solution. So you simply get the LCM of 1 and 3, that is 3. 3 divided by 1, 3. 3 multiplied by 12, that is 36. Subtract 3 divided by 3, 1. 1 times 16, you get 16. So this gives 36, subtract 16, you get 20 divided by 3. Now 20 divided by 3, given as a mixed number, will be 6 and 2/3. So that is the solution. So you're supposed to follow the law of BODMAS. Start with the brackets, then go to division, then the last one you've solved is subtraction. Now we go to the next question. This is a question 22. So question 22, you're supposed to find the surface area of a rectangular based prism measuring 5 by 4 by 3 centimeters. So you can just sketch this prism. So being a rectangular prism, seems that it looks something like this, like a cuboid. So, and it measures 5 by 4 by 3. So if I complete the hidden lines here so that you can see the surfaces that we need to get area. So for that rectangular based prism, how many faces are there? We are going to get the area of 6 faces. So we start with the front face, that is here. So we start with this one. So that face measures 5 by 3. So that will be 5 centimeters multiplied by 3 centimeters. That will give 15 centimeters, and then we multiply 15 centimeters squared. We multiply by 2 because of the other face on the other side. On the other side there. So that is why we're multiplying by 2. And this will give 30 centimeters squared. We go to the other face. So the other face is this, that is here, measuring 4 by 3. So measuring 4 centimeters by 3 centimeters. So this will give 12 centimeters squared. And then you multiply by 2 because of the other that is on the other side. So that will give 24 centimeters squared. Now the one that is remaining is the bottom one. The bottom face measuring 5 centimeters by 4 centimeters. This will give 20 centimeters squared. We multiply by 2 because of the other face on the top. And this will give 40 centimeters squared. We add now to get the total surface area. So when you add, this will give 94 centimeters squared as the solution. We go to question 23. Question 23, given the matrices A and B, the two matrices are of order 2 by 2. They have 2 rows and 2 columns. So how do you subtract them? Now to subtract, to get these A, subtract B, we shall subtract the corresponding elements. For example, we have 3. 3 corresponds to 1. The element in the first row, first column. This one corresponds to this. So when you're subtracting, we take 3 subtract 1. That will give 3 subtract 1. Then this one, 5 corresponds to 2. So 5 subtract 2. So that will be 5 subtract 2. Then you go to the second row, 2 subtract 3. 2 subtract 3. And then the other one is a 4, corresponds to 1. 4 subtract 1. So this is what is going to give the matrix. So when you subtract 3 subtract 1 is 2. 5 subtract 2 is 3. 2 subtract 3 is -1. 4 subtract 1 is 3. So the matrix that you need to have, A subtract B, is given by 2, 3, -1, 3. We go to the next question. Question 24. A machine takes 6 hours to produce 120 items. How long will it take 3 similar machines to produce 300 items at the same rate? So there are 2 ways of solving this question. The first way or the first method is whereby you use the ratios. So one machine takes 6 hours to produce 120 items. So how long will it take 3 machines? How long? So to produce how many items? This is 300 items. So the first method, we use ratios. So we start by looking at the machines and the hours. So if one machine takes 6 hours to complete this work, to produce these items, what about 3 machines? Of course, because the machines have increased, we expect the number of hours to reduce. So the number of hours going to reduce in the ratio 1:3. 1:3, that one we write it as 1 divided by 3. So that is the first thing. Then we multiply by, now we take the hours and the items. So to produce 120 items, it takes 6 hours. So what about producing 300 items? Because the items have increased, so we expect the number of hours to also increase. So to produce 120 items, 6 hours. So 300 items, we expect the hours to increase in the ratio 300:120. And that one we write it as 300 divided by 120. And then now to get the number of hours, we multiply by 6. So this will give by 3, 1. By 3, this is 100. Then 6 by 6, 1. 120 divided by 6, you get 20. Then we have 100 divided by 20. That will give exactly 5 hours. So that is the first method. Now the second method you can use is here. So one machine takes 6 hours to produce 120 items. So it takes 6 hours to produce 120. So what about in 1 hour? In 1 hour, one machine will take 120 divided by 6. And this one will take 20 hours. So one machine will take 20 hours to produce. That is the rate per machine. So not hours, but these will be items. Sorry, these will be items. So 1 hour So 1 hour, we are going to take 120 divided by 6, and these will give items, 20 items. So in 1 hour, one machine produces 20 items. So what about 3 machines? So for 3 machines, we are going to, if one machine working at the rate of 1 hour produces 20 items, what about 3 similar machines? So we take 3 multiplied by 20. So this one will be 60 items. 60 items. So 3 machines are going to produce 60 items. Now, what about 300 items? So to produce 300 items, because the 3 machines are producing at the rate of 1 hour, they're producing 60 items. So 300 items, the number of hours that will be taken to produce those items, you take 300 divided by 60 items, and these will give 5 hours. 5 hours. So you can either decide to use method 1 or method 2, whichever works for you. You can go for it. So we go to the next question. Question 25. Solve the simultaneous equations using a substitution method. So you need to be very keen here to follow the method that you're given. You're supposed to use substitution method and not any other method. So when you look at the 2 equations, the one that you can work out easily, you can use to substitute is the second equation, where you can make y the subject. So I will make y the subject by taking y to the right hand side and taking these 3 to the left hand side, so that I have y should be equal to 2x. When I take 3 to the other side, I get -3. So you make y the subject using equation 2, and then you substitute this value of y in equation 1. So you take equation 1, 3x plus 2. Now you have y as 2x minus 3. You substitute y in the first equation, and this should give 12. So simply substituting this y in the first equation. So this will give 3x plus 2 by 2x, you get 4x. Then 3 times -3, you get -6 is equals to 12. 3x plus 4x, you get 7x. 7x is equals to, you take this one to the other side, you get 12 plus 6, you get 18. So therefore x will be 18 divided by 7. Now after getting x, remember y. Y is given as 2x subtract 3. So this will be 2. X is already 18 divided by 7 subtract 3. So this will be 2. So this will give 2 multiplied by 18. You get 36 divided by 7. That, then you subtract 3. So when you work out these, get the LCM. This will give 36, subtract 21, and this will give 15 divided by 7. So y is equals to 15 divided by 7. And you can also write it as mixed fraction. So you can write it as this will be 2 and 4 over 7. And also this one you can write it as 2 and 1 over 7. So that is how you're supposed to solve that. We go to the next question, question 26. Question 26. A farmer harvested 800 kg of maize last season and 960 kg this season. Calculate the percentage increase in the harvest. So to get percentage increase, we get the increase divided by the original multiplied by 100. So the first thing is to get the increase. So increase will be given by, you take the last season is 960, then the initial one, this is the new season, this season 960, then subtract the last season, this is 800, and this will give 160. That is the increase. 160. So percentage increase will be increase, which is 160, divided by the original, which is 800. The original is the first harvest, then multiply by 100. So these two zeros will divide out. So 8 divided by 8, 160 divided by 8, you get 20. So this gives 20%. We go to question 27. A business person took a loan of 10,000 and repaid it after 2 years. If the repayment was 12,100 and a compound interest, find the ratio of interest per annum. So this is compound interest, and you have the loan. This will be the principal amount. Then the repayment, this is the total amount that was repaid back. So we shall use the compound interest formula, which states that amount is given by principal, then into brackets 1 plus the rate of 100, then everything raised power n, where A will be the total amount repaid after 2 years, which is 12,000 to be 12,100. That is the total amount. Then the principal is the initial loan taken, that is 10,000. Then 1 plus the rate, we are looking for that. And then the period is, remember this is per annum, so 2 years. N is 2. N is the period and N is equals to 2. So now you can see now we'll be able to get the value of R. So we start by dividing both sides by 10,000. We want to make R the subject to remain with the, we eliminate everything from the right hand side to remain with R. So divide by 10,000. So when you divide by 10,000, this will give 1 point. When you divide this out, this will give 1.21 is equals to 1 plus R over 100 squared. So we want to get rid of the square. So we get the square root of both sides. So you get the square root of 1.21. The square root of 1.21 is 1.1. It is 1.1. Then when you get the square root of the right hand side, the square sign will disappear, or you get rid of that by getting the square root. Now it is easier, you're almost getting it. So now from there, the next step, you can take this one to this side. So you get 1.1. When you take 1 to the other side, it will be 1.1 subtract 1, which will be 0.1 is equals to R divided by 100. So now having R is R over 100 is equals, can also write it like this, 0.1. You want to get R, so multiply both sides by 100 and also this side by 100 so that you can remain with R. So by 100, 1 by 100, 1. So R is equals to 0.1 times 100. This will give 10%. So the only thing that you're required to do there is to use the compound interest formula, substitute A with the amount repaid, then P is the principal, the initial loan taken, then N is the number of years. Now, so you make R the subject. That is how you work it out. Question 28. The following numbers represent the ages of 10 learners in years. So you have the ages there. Find the mode. Find the mode of the data set. So the mode is the most repeated or the most frequent, the number that appears many times. So when I look at this data, I can see 12 appears 3 times, and also 14 appears 3 times. So 12 appears 3 times, 14 appears 3 times, then 15 appears 2 times. So it seems you have 2 modes. So the modes are 12 and 14 because both of them appear 3 times each. So you can't say 12 is the mode or 14 is both of them are the mode. So we have 2 types of modes there in that set of data. The next question, find the median of the data set, find the median. The median is the middle value, and for you to get the median, you have to arrange this set of data either from the smallest to the largest or from the largest to the smallest, otherwise known as ascending or descending order. So I'll organize this data from the smallest to the largest. So you can see the smallest there is 12, and 12 appears 3 times, and then followed by 13 appears once, 13 appears once, then 14 appears 3 times, and then we have 15 appears 2 times. So 15 appears 2 times, and then 16 once. So we want to get the median or the middle value. This is how we go about it. You can cancel the values, one to the left, the other one to the right, another one with that one. This is the easiest way to do that. This one and this one, because we want to get the middle value, then this one with this one. So you notice that you remain with 2. In case you remain with 1, that will be automatically the median. But now you have 2. If you have 2 in the middle, so you have to get the average of the 2. So 14 plus 14, you divide by 2, and this will still give you 14 as the median. Now the next question is very easy, because for this one, you only need to use a calculator. You need to use a calculator to work out this. And you're supposed to get the cube of 49.8. 49.8, the cube. So how do you get the cube? You simply need to press your calculator. Just press and feed in 49.8. And then from your calculator, you notice that there is... so from your calculator, there is a cube. You can see... when you check the mode of your calculator, I'm using this mode FX82MS. So for that one, there's that button where you find x cubed. So you simply press that. So feed in 49.8, then you press 49.8, and then you press that button that is written x raised to power 3. The button written x power 3. When you press that and press equals, you get 123,505.9920. As simple as that. So that one is just testing the use of calculators, whether you're able to get the cube. So the second one, there's a mistake here. Supposed also to be cube. It's supposed to be the same. Supposed to be cubed as well. So for this one, again, you simply press 0.048 and then press that button written x cubed and equals, and this will give 0.0001. There are 3 zeros, 1, 1. Supposed to be like that. So 0.0000111. We go to the next question, question 30. Write the following expressions in index form. So how do you write in logarithmic form and the index form? Now start by giving you the standard format. When you're given, let's say, a logarithm of m to the base of n is equals to x, that is in logarithmic notation. That equation is in logarithmic notation. Now to change it into index notation, this is how you go about it. You take n is the base, so you take n, then raise that to power, the log of that number becomes the index. So x to power x is equals to this value that is here, m. So that is how you're supposed to do it. So when you look at whatever we have there, now to write this one is in logarithmic form. Now comparing what we've done here, so this will be 10, you take the base, 10, you take 10, then raise that to power negative 3. Raise that to power negative 3. And that one should give you, this should be the solution, 0.001. 0.001. I will give you another example. Let's say if you have a logarithm of, let's say, 100 to the base of 10. That one we know it is 2. So that one is logarithmic form. So to get the index form, you simply take 10 raised to power 2. 10 to power 2 is equals to 100. So 10 to power 2 is equals to 100. As simple as that. So now having known that, now it is easier to write this. So this one will be 10 to power 2. 10 to power 2. I can see there is a slight error there. This one is supposed to be 100. This is supposed to be, and actually I gave the example here. The example that is here. This one should be 3. Actually, this one should be 3, not 2. Should be 3. Should be 3 because you have 1,000. Because this is 10 to power 3. 10 to power 3. 10 to power 3 should give you what? Should give you 1,000. 10 to power 3 should give you 1,000. So a bit of correction there. So 10 to power 3 is equals to 1,000. So now with these questions solved, you'll be now able to write from logarithmic to index notation and the vice versa. So 10 to power 3 is equals to 1,000. Question 31. Calculate the area of the shaded part below. The area of the shaded part, that is the major sector. So this is the major sector. And the one that is unshaded is the minor sector. So how do you get the area of a sector? The area of a sector of a circle is given by this formula, theta over 360 pi r squared, where theta is the angle between. Now, because we want to get the area of the larger sector, the smaller sector, the angle subtended at the center is 180. So the remaining angle represent the angle subtended by the shaded part, and this will be 360 subtract 80. So the rest of the angle, that is 280. So the whole of this angle is 280. So now when you're getting the area of that sector, you should use the angle subtended by that major sector. That is what you're getting, which is 280 degrees divided by 360 multiplied by pi. Pi is 22 over 7 times radius squared. Radius squared is radius times radius. So from there you can work out this one using a calculator. So by 7 1 by 7 2, d0 and d0 you go. So by 3, let me see whether it is possible to divide this one by. So you can use the calculator directly, or you can just simplify. So I'll take 200 and this is 28 multiply by 22 multiply by 2 times 14, that is 28. Then I divide everything by 36. So that should give 479.11 centimeters squared. Just to confirm this. So this is 28 times 22 times 28 divided by 36. It is okay. So that is how you're supposed to get it. Another way you can get the area of the minor sector of the circle, the area of the circle, and then you subtract the area of the minor sector, of which is a lot of work. So we go to question 32. Solve the inequality. Solve this inequality. 3x plus 2 is greater than 11. So this will be 3x. So you can take, because you are solving for x, you can take positive 2. You can take positive 2 to the right hand side so that you can get this one as greater than 11 subtract 2. Or simply you subtract 2 from both sides in order, because you're solving for x. So this will give 3x is greater than 11 subtract 2 is 9. So from there, divide both sides. You're solving for x. So divide this side by 3, divide this by 3. And this will give x is greater than 3. So you solved. And is a solution. So that is question 32. We go to question 33. Express 2.16 as a fraction. 2.16 as a fraction. So this is the easiest way. 2.16 can be written as 2.16 divided by 1. Still the same. Then from there, you can eliminate the decimal places. There are 2 decimal places in the numerator, so you can multiply by 100 in the numerator, 100 in the denominator. So these 2 decimal places will disappear. So you'll have 216. Then for the denominator, you have 100. Then from there, you can simplify. So 2.16 is the same as 216 divided by 100. So simplify by 2, 50, by 2, 108, by 2, 25, 108 by 2, 54. Like that. So when you simplify, let me see whether you can simplify that one further. So I have 54 divided by 25. You cannot simplify that one further, so you can leave it like that. So this will be 54 divided by 25 as a fraction. Because it is not specified which kind of a fraction, you can decide to write it as an improper fraction or a mixed fraction as 2 and 4/5 as well. We go to the next question, question 34. Question 34. A pickup consumes 18 liters of diesel to travel 270 kilometers. How much diesel will the pickup consume to travel 90 kilometers at the same speed? So the first thing we're going to do, look at this. Given 18 liters to travel for 270 kilometers. So what about, 18 liters, 270 kilometers. So what about, so we can decide to get, what about if 18 liters goes for 270 kilometers. So what about 1 liter? So what about 1 liter? 1 liter will go for how many kilometers? So 1 liter will go for, you take 270 divided by 18. So 1 liter will go for 270 divided by 18, and this will be 15 kilometers. So that is the rate. So 1 liter will go for 15 kilometers. So now the question is, how much diesel will it consume in 90 kilometers? So what about 90 kilometers? If 1 liter goes for 15 kilometers, what about 90 kilometers? So you simply take 90 cross multiply 90 times 1 divided by 15. So this will be 90 divided by 15, and this will be 6 liters. To be 6 liters. We go to part B of the question. How many kilometers will the pickup cover if it consumes 27 liters? 27 liters. So we go back to the rate. So 1 liter will go for 15 kilometers. 1 liter goes for 15 kilometers. So what about 27 liters? 27 liters will go for how many kilometers? So it is 27. You just cross multiply 27 times 15. Everything divided by 1. So 27 by 15 That is a 405 kilometers. That is how we're supposed to do that. Question 35. A farmer planned to use his land as follows: 10% for sweet potatoes, 20% for peas, 30% for maize, and the rest for cabbages. Work out the angle representing the cabbages. Now, to get the angle representing the cabbages, remember in a pie chart, total angles should be 360. Total angles in a circle, angles at a point, should be 360. So when you're getting the percentage for potatoes, for example, for potatoes, but you're required to work out the angle representing the cabbages. So the rest. So we have get for cabbages, of course, the percentage here should be 100. So to get whatever is remaining for cabbages, we just take 100, then subtract the sum of all these. So we have 10% for sweet potatoes, we have 20% for peas, and we have 30% for maize. So the one that remains, automatically that will be for the cabbages. So this is a 10 plus this 100 minus 30, 60. So that will be 40%. 40%. So that now when you take 10 plus 20 plus 30, that one gives 60. Then to make 100%, cabbages will take 40%. So now to get the angle representing cabbages, it will be 40%, which is a 40 over 100 divided by 100, times the total angle in a pie chart, that is 360. So this will give 36 times 4, which will give 144 degrees. Then the next question, if all the land was 24 hectares, how many hectares does each crop occupy if the total land was 24 hectares? So if it was 24 hectares, we are going to use the percentages. So the percentage for potatoes, sweet potatoes, was 10%. So to get the hectares for sweet potatoes, you take 10%, which is 10 over 100, times 24 hectares, the total. So that is for potatoes. So this will give 2.4. Work out, this will give 2.4 hectares. That is for potatoes, the sweet potatoes. Then the next is peas, 20% for peas. So 20% multiplied by 24. This will give a 48 divided by 10. These are 4.8 hectares. This is for peas. Then the next is maize. Maize is 30%. So total hectares for maize, 30% is 30 divided by 100 times 24. And this gives, this will be 12, this is 7.2 hectares. That is for maize. And then the maize, the rest is cabbages. Cabbages is 40. You got cabbages is 40%. So this is a 40%, 40 divided by 100 multiplied by 24. This gives, this is a 696. So this will give 9.6 hectares. So this is for the cabbages. So now we've answered the question, how many hectares does each crop occupy? And if you want to verify, you can add for sweet potatoes 2.4 plus 4.8 plus 7.2 plus 9.6 to verify whether that will give a total of 24. And it is giving 24. It is giving. Question 36. In the space provided below, construct a triangle ABC with sides. AB is equals to 6 centimeters, BC is equals to 8 centimeters, and AC is equals to 10 centimeters. Then construct a circle touching all the sides, all the 3 sides. That is the most important thing that you're supposed to know. 3 sides, not the corners, not the vertices. So that one means that you're supposed to inscribe the circle inside the triangle so that it touches all the 3 sides. Calculate the radius of the circle. So let me start by constructing this triangle. So start with AB. AB 6 centimeters. So you simply draw a straight line. AB 6 centimeters. So AB should be 6 centimeters. So AB 6 centimeters. So simply take a measurement using a ruler. So 6 centimeters. So 6 centimeters should be there. I've marked it down. So 6 centimeters should be, sorry. So 6 centimeters, I marked it here. So that is AB, 6 centimeters. And confirm that it is 6. Yes, it is 6. Then remember, you have to sketch this. It is important to have a sketch here. A, B, and then you have C. So it is always good to have the sketch of what you require to get. So this is 6. And then you have BC is 8. So BC is 8 and AC is 10. So now to get AC, simply take your pair of compass. Take your pair of compass and then stand at A. Stand at A, and then ensure that you take a measurement of, from the ruler, take a measurement of 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters. So that is 10 centimeters. So with that measurement of 10 centimeters, you simply need to stand at A. Stand at A, and then you mark an arc. So because of the space, this is going to touch the text that is there. So that is a mark a bigger arc using 10 centimeters because you want to get AC to be 10 centimeters. Then now look at BC. BC should be 8. So now take a measurement of 8. Take a measurement of 8 centimeters. Take a measurement of 8 from the ruler. So and already that is 8. So that is 8 centimeters. Just confirming that is 8. So with measurement of 8, stand at B. Stand at B. And then that arc that you made there, cut it like that. Cut it like that. So the point of intersection of the two arcs gives point C. So point C will be there, the point of intersection. So take a ruler and then join point A. Join point A to the point of intersection of the arcs. Then also B, you're using a ruler to do this. Use a ruler to join the point of intersection of that. So and you have your triangle ABC. So C is here. C is there. So this is where you have point C. So now this is 10 centimeters and this one is 8 centimeters. Now, construct a circle that touches all the three sides. You're going to bisect. You're inscribing that circle inside this triangle. You're going to bisect any two angles. Then those two bisectors, where they meet, that will be the center of the circle. So you bisect any two angles. This is the procedure for inscribing a circle, or simply constructing a circle whereby that circle touches all the three sides of the triangle. So with any convenient radius, I want us to bisect angle A. So any convenient radius of your choice, stand at A and then mark an arc there. And then with the same radius, you mark an arc there. So now from there you can adjust if you want, and then stand at that arc, point of arc there that you made, and then mark an arc there, big arc. Then with the same radius, don't change that. Stand at the other point, the arc, and then cut that arc like that. Then from there, now you can join using a straight line. Join point A to the point of intersection, the point of intersection of that arc there. Now you have bisected angle A. You have divided it into two. Now the next one, how you bisect another angle. You can bisect C or B, any of your choice. Still work. So I'll bisect B. So extended B. So extended B there. And then any convenient radius again. Any convenient radius. Any convenient radius. You mark an arc there. And then another one on this other line here. The two lines that are bordering that angle B. So once you've done that, from there now you can adjust if you want. You can adjust. And then you stand at these, on this arc here that you've made. And then you mark an arc, a bigger arc there with the same radius without changing it. The same, go to the other arc. It is not quite visible well. So you stand at that arc and then you cut this arc. You cut that arc. Once you cut that arc, join using a straight line, the point of intersection of those arcs from B, standing at B using a straight line, join using a straight line, the point of intersection of the two arcs like that. Now, where the two bisectors, the angle bisectors, this bisector and this other bisector, where are they meeting? They are meeting at this point. This one becomes your center. So now to inscribe a circle that is going to touch the three sides, you will simply stand here. You simply stand there with a pair of compass. And then standing at that point, you make sure you, unfortunately, my pair of compass can't go beyond that. You're supposed to ensure that this pair of compass, once you stand there, is supposed to actually touch. Let me show you. Unfortunately, mine can't go beyond that. Cannot go beyond that. Can't go beyond that. So the center So unfortunately, my pair of compass is these are digital tools. I have challenges sometimes. So mine can't go beyond that. You're supposed to ensure that when you're drawing this one, when you're drawing the circle, when you stand at the center here, when you stand at the center, this one being the center, you stretch your pair of compass until it gets to inside that circle, until it touches this point. It's supposed to stretch until it touches this point. Or maybe you can stretch it until you make it smaller until it touches this point. Unfortunately, mine can't go beyond that. So standing at the center there and ensuring that this pair of compass is stretched in such a way that it fits. This tip should be or should touch this line. So and with that radius, you simply draw the circle. That circle is going to fit inside here very well. It's going to fit in there very well. It's only that I may not be able to do that because of the limitation of my pair of compass. But the circle is supposed to be something like this. I'm just drawing a sketch because I may not be able to do that. A pair of compass has totally refused to have it. So that circle will actually, when you stand here, if mine was able to stretch up to this point so that the tip could touch this line here, I will simply draw that circle very well. The circle is supposed to touch this side and the other side and this side, the three sides. So that is inscribing a circle. That is basically how you're supposed to do that. Once you've drawn that circle, calculating the radius will be very easy because you only need to measure the radius. The radius will be from the circumference, this point, to the center. You just use a ruler and then you measure and you get the radius. So that is how you're supposed to do that. I've demonstrated it, how you're supposed to do it, constructing the triangle, bisecting any two angles where those two angle bisectors meet. That will be the radius, and then you draw it. Question 37. 3 business partners, Simon, Steve, and Sonia, decided to share the profit of their business in the ratio 2:3:5. If the total profit earned is 640,000, calculate 1. the individual share of each partner. So let's begin with that. The individual share of each partner. So we start with that. So we start with Simon. So we start with Simon. Now, Simon ratio will be 2. The proportion of Simon, Steve, there is Simon, SI, then we have Steve, ratio, Sonia. So this is a 2:3:5. So you need to get the total, the sum of the ratios, 2 plus 3 plus 5, that will give 10. So therefore, the proportion for Simon is 2 divided by the total, which is 10, multiplied by 640,000. 640,000. So that is what you're supposed to do. And that will give, when you multiply these, so 2 divided by 10, multiplied by, so this will give 64 times 2. This will give 128, 123,000. So that one is for Simon. Then for Steve is 3 divided by 10, multiplied by 640,000. So this will be 64 times 3 gives 192,000. And then the last one is Sonia. So Sonia, this is 5 divided by 10 for the total, multiplied by 640,000. So this one will give 64 times 5, 320,000. So that is the individual's share. We go to part B. What percentage of the total profit did each partner receive? What percentage of the total profit did each partner receive? So to get the percentage, this is what you're going to do. We shall take, for instance, so we start with Simon. Simon received 128. That was a profit. Then of the total is 640,000 times 100, like that. So this one will give those two zeros and those two zeros. So we have 100 and these are 1280 divided by 64. So these will give 20%. So these will give 20%. Then for Steve, we have 192,000. That was the profit over the total 640,000 multiplied by 100. So those two zeros cancels those two zeros. Then you have other zeros there, and there's there. So 1920. So 1920 divided by 64. So that one gives a 30%. It is 30%. Then we go to the last one, is Sonia. So Sonia got a profit of 320,000 divided by the total amount. It was shared 640,000 multiplied by 100 to convert this to percentage. So those two zeros and these two zeros, then these two zeros and these two zeros, we have we have that 200. So these will give that 200 divided by 64. That gives a 50%. Simply use a calculator to work out these. So those are the percentages of each partner. So we go to the next question. So the next question is question 38. So question 38. A straight line joins 2 points with coordinates 2, 1.5 and 1.87. Determine the gradient of the line. So how do you get gradient? So gradient, I'm going to denote by M. Gradient, I denote gradient by M, is given by change in y coordinate divided by the change in x coordinate. So this is how we get the gradient. Simply get the y coordinate, which is 7. You take 7, subtract, that is the y coordinate, then subtract 1.5 divided by change in x coordinate, 1.8, subtract 2. So 1.8 subtract 2. So this will give, so 7 subtract 1.5, that gives a 5.5 divided by a 1.8 subtract 2, that will give a negative 0.2. So when you divide these, 5.5 divided by 0.2, this will give 27.5, and this is negative 27.5. That is the gradient. The next question, part B, determine the equation of the line. Determine the equation of the line. So now you have the gradient as negative 27.5, and you have the 2 points. So you can use 1 point. So I'll pick 1 point to 1.5, and then I will introduce another general point, xy, on the line to enable me calculate the gradient. So take 1 point, I've taken 2, 1.5, and then another general point on the line, which is xy. Then with these 2 points, you calculate the gradient, which you know the gradient is negative 27.5. So change in y, the gradient, which is negative 27.5, is given by change in y subtract 1.5 divided by change in x subtract 2. So that is how you get the gradient. So just put this 1 over 1, and then you cross multiply. So I'll have y minus 1.5 times 1. That will give y minus 1.5 is equals to So here you have negative 27.5, this one, multiplied by x minus 2. So this will give y minus 1.5 is equals to negative 27.5. Negative 27.5 times negative 2. So that one will give positive. So because of two negatives, it will be very keen here. So negative 27.5 times negative 2. That will give 55. That gives 55. We get 55 positive. Then from there, now you can make this equation to take the format of a standard equation of a line. That is y is equals to mx plus c, like that. So I'll take this one to the other side, so that I have y is equals to, so negative 27, this was x, negative 27.5x. Then this one, when I take negative 1.5 to the right hand side, I'll get 55 plus 1.5. That will give 56.5. So that will give 56.5. So that is the equation of that line. We go to the next question, question number 39. Grade 9 learners added two numbers and the result was less than 5. Form an inequality from the statement. So since we don't know these numbers, these two numbers, we can let the two numbers, one number to be x and the other one to be y. So when they added the two numbers, that is x plus y, the result, that is the result, x plus y gives the result. The result was less than 5. So you simply form an inequality by using an inequality symbol. And the symbol here is less than. So x plus y represents when the two numbers were added and they are less than 5. The result is less than 5. So that is the solution. Represent the inequality on a graph. Now, since we don't have a graph, I will demonstrate how we're supposed to do this. To draw this graph, x plus y is less than 5, you're going to draw this line, x plus y is equals to 5. So to draw that line, you require at least 2 points. So x, y, you require 2 points to draw that graph. It's a graph of a straight line. The straight line is x plus y is equals to 5. So use any two convenient points. So for example, when x is 0, if you substitute x with 0 here, you'll get y to be 5. So 0 plus y is equals to, let me see. Yeah, it is okay. Is equals to 5. So you can see when you substitute x with 0, you get y is equals to 5. Again, when you take y to be 0, so x plus y, which is 0, still the result will be, x will still be 5. So here y was 5. So here this is 5. So those 2 points are enough to give you a straight line. But you can always add the third one to confirm that straight line. Now, after you've done that, this is what you do. Now you go to the graph. It is very easy. You go to the graph. Simply because I don't have a graph, I'm just going to demonstrate here. Let's say that is you draw the x-axis and the y-axis. So this is the y-axis and then this is the x-axis. So you have 0 there. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative 1, negative 2. Here you have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, although you don't require all these. So you require to plot these points. One is 0, 5. 0, 5. That is the first point. And the other one is, this one is 0. Oh, it is 5. It is 5. I'm sorry. When y is 0, so there's something here. Sorry. There's something here that need to correct. So when x is 0, y is 5. When y is 0, when y is 0, then x is 5. Sorry for that. supposed to be like that. So when you substitute in this equation, x plus y is equals to 5. When x is 0, when you substitute x is 0, you get y to be 5. It's easier. Then when you substitute y to be 0, x will be 5. So the point that you're supposed to plot are these. 0, 5, 0, 5 is here, 0, 5 is here. There is a point. So there it is. And then 5, 0. 5, 0, this one. So you have 5, 0. 5, 0 is this. So 5, 0 is this. So this is 5, 0 there. So you now draw a straight line. Draw a straight line like that. And this one is the line whose equation is x plus y is equals to 5. Now that one is not enough. In inequalities, after you have plotted the graph, you plot again properly. And if it's a sketch, so supposed to pass through those 2 points like that. That is okay. No. Like that. So it's just a sketch. When you draw it on a graph, to be accurate. So this is x plus y is equals to 5. Now you're supposed to shade the unwanted side. So is it the upper side of that graph or the lower side? That is what you're supposed to know. Now you're going to test a point. So the inequality is x plus y is less than 5. We shade the unwanted side. So just pick a point on either side to test. Like for example, I'll take a point that is on this side. That is 0, 0. 0, 0. 0, 0 means x is 0 and y is 0. Just substitute it here. X is 0, y is 0. Does that one agree? Does it agree with that inequality? You get 0 is less than 5. And it is true. It is true. 0 is less than 5. Now, because that point that you've picked on this side satisfies the inequality, then that one is the required region. So automatically, the upper side of that line is the unwanted. Another thing, if it is less than, that line is supposed to be broken. So this line is supposed to be broken. That line that you drew is supposed to be broken line. And I'm going to indicate it here. This line, x plus y is equals to 5, should be a broken line. Broken line means what? That even the points that lie on that line, they do not satisfy this inequality. Points that lie on that line. So that line, when you draw it, ensure that the line is broken. It is broken. But if it was less than or equal to, it could have been a continuous line. Meaning that even the points that lie on that line, they satisfy the inequality. So that line should be broken. Then remember, you shade the unwanted side. Now, the other side I've shaded, you can take a point and test. Confirm that the point that you take from that side will not satisfy. A point like a 5, let's say 5, 6. 5, 6 is a point that can be there. 5, 6. Let's say you have 5, 6. So when x is 5 and y is 6. So if you substitute it here, you get what? 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 less than 5. So 11 is not less than 5. That one is false. So you can see the point that I've taken from this side does not satisfy this inequality. But the point that I've taken from this side, 0, 0, satisfied the inequality. So this becomes the unwanted side and we shade the unwanted side. That one is clear. Now the last question. So question 40. Calculate the surface area of the pyramid below. So look at that pyramid. It has 3 triangular slanting faces. It has got 4 faces in total, 3 slanting and 1 bottom, and all of them are triangular in shape. So for example, if I extract one, because I can see they are all similar, if I can extract one that is having 13, 13, sides, and then it has got 10. And those are all the slanting are like that, 13, 13, and the base is 10. So once I get one area of such, I just need to multiply by 3 because they are similar. So if I get the area of this triangle that you can see here, measuring 13 by 13 and 10, it is isosceles, I simply multiply by 3 to get the total of the 3. So this is what I will do. Because I have to use this formula, half base times height, that is what I want to use. There are other formulas that you can use, but I like us to use half base times height. So if I draw a straight line, if this is an isosceles triangle, and I draw a perpendicular bisector from this point, it will divide this base into 2, I'll get 5, 5, and it will give me a right angle triangle. So this will form the height of that triangle. So now when you look at this one part, that is a right angle triangle, you can use Pythagoras theorem to get the height. So this I will get 13 squared minus 5 squared. That will give height squared. So this will be 169 minus 25 is equals to height squared. This will be 144 is equals to height squared. So height will therefore be the square root of 144, and that will be 12. So height will be 12. So the height of that triangle will be 12. So therefore I can use area as a half base times height, and this will be a half times the base. The base now of that triangle will be 10, then times the height. The height is 12, you just obtain. And then because there are 3, you multiply by 3. There are 3 such triangles. So by 2, 1, this by 2, 5. So this will give 60 times 3, and you get 180 centimeters squared. So now we are remaining with the base. For the base again, if you sketch it, this one is 10 by 10 by 10. So this one is an equilateral. Again, if you draw perpendicular bisector, you will have this side as 5, this one as 5 for the base. And then the height, you get it by 10 squared minus 5 squared is equals to height squared. So this will be 100 minus 25 is equals to height squared. So this will give 75 is equals to height squared. So height will be the square root of 75, which is 8.66 centimeters. So that is what you get. So once you get the height as 8.66, now you can get the area. Area is equals to a half times the base. The base is 10 times the height, 8.66. So this one will give by 2, 1 by 2, 5. So 5 times 8.66, that will give 43.3 centimeters squared. So now you can get the total area. The 3 triangular faces, we got 180 centimeters squared. Then the base, which is 43.3 centimeters squared. So this will give 223.3 centimeters squared.